Hello and welcome to Division 3 League of Europe Season 9 Round 5, and it's the Monaco Grand Prix, the lesser spotted Marmite of the calendar that we normally only go to once a year, and that is this fated day, which is about as close to Valentine's Day as we're going to be racing. So I'm going to call this the Valentine's Day Massacre. I'm joined here by the one and only Swip. We are both D4 drivers, so we are not going to be telling you how to do it. We're just going to be laughing at people doing it badly, slightly less than us, which is a slight difference. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm all right, thank you. Old school. Exactly like you said, we're close to Valentine's Day, so let's hope and love and pray to God that a lot of people will stay out of the wall. I'm just kidding. I'm expecting some spectacular overtakes. I'm expecting at least half the grid to stay on track. So yeah, let's see. Action Pack will be going in about 14 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been kind of doing a bit of swatting up. Now, I've needed to do it to a degree, but one of my old teammates, a former Constructors Champion, we have to get that in this division. I didn't actually add that I'm a former champion of this division, actually. I should have added that. I'm surprised that's taken me at least 1 minute, but there we go. Mr. Chill, who's now got himself a full-time drive, is leading the championship. And he's showing remarkable consistency, but he's never finished in the points at a Monaco League race, as I'm told from him, since 2015.
Well, some cool facts going out there. He's leading championship by a point, so yeah, we'll see at the end of this race if he can keep that consistency. I think last time out he came third, so yeah, not bad for a P1 driver.
No, absolutely. So we'll see how he gets on today. This could be a seminal moment in the title race because there's a long way to go, a hell of a long way to go, of course, but it's very tight, very, very concertina, all the way from a gentleman that we raced against. Is it Aguapo? I think, is that how we're saying it? Yeah, he's on 36 points, and like you say, all the way through, it's pretty tight. I think from the top 8 with a lot of point scorers dotted through. The top 20 have all scored points so far.
Yeah, and if I look at the standings, like you said, I think if somebody were to take 26 points tonight and the rest above them would retire, we would have a new championship leader. So Aguapo could be leading the championship after tonight. Who knows?
Yeah, which is wild considering he spent a race in D4 where he completely obliterated us and then got asked to move very, very swiftly. But no fault of his own. He wasn't sandbagging or anything. He just wrong place, wrong time. But we have a couple of drivers I don't recognise too much, as Harry F is the first man out on track, but the Alphas have come darting out of the pits. But there's a couple of names I'm not massively familiar with, I'm going to lie. George Gamer is less familiar with. And I suppose Cool Kicker? Cool Kicker?
Yeah, it's a Dutch name. It's Coole Kicker. So great to be a Dutchman at the moment. Looks like my pronunciation would be quite good.
Coole Kicker.
Coole Kicker.
There we go. 1984 as well, so he's a bit of an old boy. Go on, lads. I'm all for that.
Well, you could say that one in Dutch. 1984. So there you go then. We'll do it in 2 accents if we need to. And also a Brazilian gentleman in Julie's show. So that's going to be interesting. So everyone else I'm somewhat familiar with. I've either raced or seen about. But yeah, they're the 3 that I'm a bit wild cards to me. But there's so many familiar faces from all sorts of divisions. Division 4, Division 2, Division 3 at some points. And they've all kind of packed themselves into this division this season. It's quite closely contested. As Harry takes us over the line. He's going to be the first man out on track. Going around turn 1. It's a trickier run, this particular section, I'm finding, in this year's cars. Everything's trickier in this year's cars, but it's very easy to unsettle the car through this section of corners. I don't know if that's your experience thus far. Well, yeah, I'm having big problems on this track as Harry, as logically, he's first on track, he goes first, fastest in the first sector. I'm having all sorts of problems on this track, so I'm not looking forward to when we're going to be racing later on in D4. If we look at the amount of corners, in this case there are 19 corners all throughout. It's
normally when you take the full race distance, it's a 78 lap GP, so we'll be doing half distance, which means we'll be going 39 laps. The fastest time, at least this case on track in the real F1 world, is a 1:12.909. So I'm curious to see what times we'll be putting on the board tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I suspect actually a few of these might break that. Would be a big suspicion, because I think from memory the 11s are very achievable in D4. As I say that.
Well done there. 1:11.9. So it's achievable, as you said. Lewis Hamilton, better not show up for league racing, because he'll get he'll get annoyed, I think.
Well, do you know what? The front two have come through over the line, and that's some pretty decent times. I think the first thing here is getting a time on the board, isn't it? As there he is, cooler kicker.
Yeah, there you go.
On pole with that's a great lap, 11.2. That's fantastic.
That's a great banker lap if he could go faster.
As Connor. Ooh, I was thinking that could have been very close. Connor nearly takes provisional pole. Obviously, a long way to go in this session.
Yeah, as Agrappo comes over the line, and he's now P3 in a 1:11.8. So, 1:10.6. There we go. It's even quicker.
Wow. Normally, at this point in quali, in most of the divisions we go, and look how tight it is between the top 11. At this point, I'm not going to say that because it's nearly 3 seconds. But,
well, I think what we could say is nobody has hit the wall yet. So,
well, no.
I think that's maybe a different conclusion we can take from this.
Yeah, this is mighty impressive so far. Normally, in most times I've ever visited here, at least someone has binned it in the first lap. But they're all putting pressure on each other here. As the championship leader is riding on board with Chill. As we say that we do have yellows, but I think that's someone just getting out of the way. Chill looking controlled. He's looking controlled around here. Some quite odd lines I've just noticed through there, but
it did seem to be that he was fastest through the first sector there.
Yes. Yeah, he went purple in the first. That's very nice.
Yeah, that's tight, neat and tidy.
Just depends on this section. This section is it's very Monaco-esque, it's casino-esque, it's go big or go home.
Oh, touches the wall.
Gets away with it, I think, because it was a very much side-on collision. I don't think he'd have got any major damage from it. So he's going to carry on. And this, I think, is not going to be the fastest, but I think it will be.
No, I don't think so.
Ooh.
I wonder. Ooh. Even though he did lose some time there, it looked, would like to say casual for. There was a lot of room in some corners. He was not taking a lot of risk in, so I think there could be some slight improvement there.
Yeah, absolutely. I've just realised I've not put Division 3 in the title, so apologies for that. But I'm sure someone far more YouTube savvy will be able to fix that at some point, retrospectively. But
let's hope.
Yeah, absolutely. This is Division 3, but maybe I'd be very shocked if anyone's tuned in and they're expecting the dulcet tones of Mr. James Head, who was obviously doing Division 1 at the same time.
Or we could have announced this as the new Division 5, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, maybe we just relegate them to below us, but I don't know. It's always a very difficult track. The first lap is fine. You don't tend to get much traffic because everyone kind of filters out naturally at the same point. Now it's very hard to work out who's doing what. As Connor is coming around that last corner, and he does get some clear air, and he'll be quite relieved on that. But we are going to start seeing some blocking potential.
Yeah, I'm on board with D-Morts now. As he goes over the line, he's second, and it looked quick, and he's only just off Sir Gat in this case. I was on board throughout his whole lap, and it looks very, very, very clean and especially with the grip he's got on this car. For sure, he's not gone top speed. Put it that way.
Yeah, it's wild. Like the half a second gap between the championship leader in third place. That is something. But it's such a long race. This. I mean, you can be half a second over that 36 laps. Bang you ping your wing off, and you've got effectively what feels like a 25-second penalty. So all of that hard work and natural pace is gone. It's it's really about getting round in one piece. If you can do that here, particularly with a 16-person grid, I think you'll get a top 5 as long as you're not morbidly slow compared to the rest of the field, would be my prediction.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree there. I think it's just wise to keep your whole race clean and not take too many risks. There's not a lot of overtaking possibilities. So yeah, like I said, there's no risk to take for sure. People will make mistakes. You will capitalize on it. Sorry about that. As you said, some people have to go in, take a 25-second time penalty as it is, and yeah, you'll make the position just by staying out and not making mistakes.
Yeah, 100%, and it's what I'm finding interesting here is there's quite a few people that I think Camke may have elected just from the chat to not actually go out.
Right.
I think might be electing to just not bother.
That would be a strange decision as he's further in the championship, and let's hypothetically say it would be the cleanest race ever. As Melty has retired.
Yeah, he's lost that just after the swimming pool chicane. He's lost that under traction. I've done that many times. This gap goes even quicker. A 10.4. Do you know what I'm going to very quickly do in the background with the volume down? I'm going to see where that would put him in D1. Have a little
That's
look
a smart thing to do.
And see what would the live performance be of that. Because don't get me wrong, Monaco is a specialist track. You get people that are very, very specialised.
Chill's retired. Chill's out.
Ooh,
he's lost it as well.
Massive.
I think that is turn. Let's have a look. After the first sector, so it looks like it's turn 4.
Yeah, we said, didn't we? That section is more challenging than it ever has been in previous iterations of the game, and it's claimed the championship leader, so kind of proves it. That 10.4 and 10.6 would put them, as it stands, 9th and 10th. They'd be splitting half the field.
That's a great performance, but then again, maybe they thought, let's risk it.
Yeah, 100%.
So they went all for it, and it's strange now to say that our championship leaders then lost it and is now out of qualifying. At the moment, P3, he's put a kind of reasonable time on the board, looking to the gaps behind him. But yeah, if a lot of people improve, he could be having all sorts of problems. With Camke also in the pits as our number 3 of the championship. So I think Sir Gat is looking really good here to get a great start to the Grand Prix in the race in this case.
Yeah. If there's any track you want to park it on pole, it's this one.
Sure thing.
So what are your... Obviously this is the first time you've done comms, to my knowledge, on D3. What do you think so far? I think I've been very impressed actually with how remarkably consistent. Obviously we've seen Chill and Melty have moments, but they're all now starting to filter towards each other a bit. A lot of the 11s, we've got some outliers in the top and the bottom, but I'm impressed by the pace between a lot of people that have been in different divisions historically. Connor O'Keefe in D4, White Wawa in D2. It's very packed, very tightly condensed. Yeah,
it's very true that. I think it's also because of the game. The game, of course, has made a difference of a change between last year's and this year's game. So yeah, if it suits you, you go up. If it doesn't suit you, you're losing a bit of time. So maybe that into the equation. But also, I think in this new season of LOE being like 5 or 6 races in now, I think people improve, they get used to it, they know how to race each other. So yeah, it's great to see that looking from P4, in this case Chill's just dropped down as Conor O'Keefe has gone quicker. From Chill down all the way to, let's say, Melty in 11th, who also retired, it's within the second, so that's great. That's what you want.
As D Morts just invalidates a run that he was going quicker on, so that's going to be a bit of a body blow for him. As Aguapo is coming round into that same swimming pool chicane where Mortz unfortunately had his invalidation. How's he looking? He looks like he's gone D. I had a very bad camera angle there, so it looked deep to me from the angle I did have.
Yeah, it was.
God,
I'm on board with him as well, and I see it didn't look as he wanted to take it in that way. Put it that way. So we've got about 5.5 minutes on the board. I'm curious to see what will happen as Aguapo does come in now. So he's going to make a quick pit stop and get back out. So let's see if we can get like a truly train towards the end of qualifying.
The good news is, I think we're going to see whoever comes out first. Well, actually, D-Morts has gone again.
Well, then again, if he's got the fuel on board, why not? I think he'll still have enough time.
Yeah, it's true. I think he should be fine with hers because he's going to approach 10% here, but then you get a massive amount, you would assume. You don't seem to gain that much.
No, he didn't. But then again, he's off throttle at the end anyway.
Yeah, that's very true. But I still think this is going to have a small impact. Might lose him 1 or 2 temps, but it still looks very tidy.
Yeah.
And he hasn't completely run out, even though the battery does tend to not be as powerful in that bottom 10%. And he's going to fly round. I don't think he'll improve.
He must be confident. He's confident.
Wow.
Yeah, he is. Look at that. Look at that. He must have been confident because if you look at the time on the board now, it's a 1:10.3. Because, yeah, why risk it if you know you're like... Before he set this lap time, he was 5 temps up on a chill in this case. So it wouldn't have made sense for him to continue the lap if he was down. So, yeah, well done to him.
Absolutely. Oh, Connor loses his front wing on a flying lap. He does it almost a perfect place in a very strange way because it means he can go into the pits, get that fixed and go back out again. But Gat is now... Yeah, very, very lucky. Gat's gone out at a very... potentially a bit of a spicy time because he's gone out early, but he might encounter some traffic. He seems to be going very slow on his outlap. If he's not careful, he's going to start having people feed out of the pits, which is... I think he'll be okay. I think he'll get round in enough time. I can't imagine too many of them are going to go out with 2.5 minutes to go. But...
Yeah, the other side could be, of course, that he wants to try and get another lap in if he were to invalidate. So I think it's a wise choice if you're going to be risking it and to try and get on pole. He needs about a tenth to get ahead of D-Mort. So yeah, I think it's wise him being out now, as he's now going to come around the last corners and past the pit lane. So nobody ahead of him. The only person on track is Cooler Kicker. Yeah. 1984, as you said in the English language, of course.
But he's on a good lap, so we'll ride on board with him because he's flying around in this Aston Martin. The Astons and the Mercs doing very well so far. Looks very smooth. This is the time killer. This is how much curb can I take without invalidating.
Ryan B is retired in the pits, it seems.
Yeah, so not ideal for him in the slightest. But Kudakika he's up, but he's not going to be challenging the top 3. But what he is at the moment is demoting Chill onto the 3rd row. Just depends. Oh, that looks a bit slow. That looked like he was keeping it out the wall. So it does depend on how much that's costing.
Yeah, he's up. Well done.
Yeah, it was just enough. Just enough, it seemed. His Gat is 3 tenths up. He does nick the wall.
He did have a slow first sector, though. And he nicked the wall, as you said. So I'm curious to see what will happen now. As D-Morse also comes out for his outlap.
This is going to be... Wow.
Oh, and he's hit a car. Who did he hit?
Ooh. Was that a Williams? That was a Williams. That was Kamke.
He hit Kamke coming through, so I don't know what happened there, but I don't know if they got damage.
Wow.
He should have known that. He should have seen him.
That was really messy. I didn't really clock it. I think I clicked away just as it happened.
Yeah, Kamke was coming out, and Sagat went for a short line across the line, and basically he went into the side of Kamke. I'm now on board with Kamke, and it looks like his car seems to be okay. I'm looking at his wing, and his wing also seems okay. So I think they're both very lucky because they both could have gone into the wall there. I'm going to jump back on board with Sagat to see if I see anything on board with him.
It's a classic. It's something that I've found in not necessarily online. I haven't seen it online, but it's happened when I've done Grand Prix or against the AI. When they come swing out the pits, the Sagat has had a massive moment. He's done.
But he's going in anyway. He had wing damage. He's lost the right side of the end plate. of the front wing. So yeah, he did have damage there, and Kamke has no choice because he has to go. He needs a time on the board.
Yeah, I just think that was I can't even say it was anyone's fault per se, because it's such a weird moment. I'm surprised they allow it. You wouldn't have that any other track. That wouldn't be a legal pit exit.
I don't know. Then again, he was keeping his line from coming out the pits. Of course, he's not going to stay off the throttle if he sees a car come in. It's his right of way, of course. So yeah, strange, very strange to see. As we have a McLaren coming over the line. And that's Matt Timmels. He's finished.
Lars. Well, this is interesting with Kamke.
Demot's quicker.
Wow.
Demot has gone quicker. Unbelievable. Wow.
Just over 1,000. Kamke is pushing here. Now, Kamke said, I'll have a time in mind. So he answered the question in the chat of, is he going to qualify? And he said, I've got a time in mind. If I don't think where I can get a decent place, I won't qualify. But he has, and he is going to come over the line in 11th. Now,
put it the other way. I would rather be 11th than 16th if you look at track position and you're further down than turn 1. I would rather be the back if I'm starting.
Yes. Well, as Conor O'Keefe has had a massive moment there, and I think that might be that. That will be that.
Yeah, he's in.
Yeah.
So only one on track is George Gamer still, but he's invalidated. So I think we're done for quali.
We are, and there is an argument to be had though. I think 11th is about the line. I think I'd rather be last than I would 4th from last here.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, like I said, if I'm going down towards turn 1, I don't want to be in the position he's in now, because you're going to get crowded or it's going to be messed up.
Yep, 100%. So, a very, very interesting grid here. We've got Demorts and Sergat in 1-2, Conor O'Keefe in 3rd, Kula Kicker in 4th, Chill 5th, Aguapo 6th. Why went under the radar here. I actually fancy him to do quite well. He's an absolute racecraft merchant, so he can get something from this. Ryan B, the old school Ryan B, I will call him, in 8th, as we've just clicked off, because it's very confusing, this division. There are 2 Ryan Bs. How do we normally differentiate between the Ryan Bs? Anyone in chat, if anyone knows, because we're new to this D3 season 9 commentary game. So is there a special way that we normally do it? Because we don't know.
So yeah, if you're not following us yet on YouTube or on other social media channels, that would be our advice to do. We don't know if we're going to be coming further down the season. You never know, but we'll jump in if we need to. What are you expecting of the race?
I think what I expect will be not a lot of overtaking. Safety cars will definitely play a factor if they come out. There's going to be arguments. There's going to be arguments to start on hards, so that I'm pretty sure mediums can go the whole length of this race. So
yeah,
therefore, starting on hards is somewhat logical. I would imagine most of them are starting on hards, but I don't know enough about true out-and-out pace. But this grid is way more mixed up than I thought it was going to be, because there are more medium runners than hard runners, and I'm almost certain if we had a look at D1, that would not be the case. And I'm going to do that now on this formation lap. Just have a quick look at what they've done, because it's always interesting to me, the differences. And I'm having a look here.
Yeah, and if I'm running through the order at this moment, I can see we have a really mixed strategy at the front. With Demorts going hards and Sergat going mediums and Conor O'Keefe going hard, so the Mercedes will split strategy here, depending of course on what happens in this race if the safety car comes out early. Kula Kicker in P4 has hards, then we've got P5 all the way down to P8 with Chill, Aguapo, I can't pronounce his name, but we'll go for YHYY123, and Ryan B all on mediums. Then we have Julie Show on hards in 9th, and Harry in P10 on medium, so it's really mixed all the way down the grid.
Can you see that spark?
D1.
Can you see the spark in the background there? I don't know if you caught that. There's the barrier is sparking. Unbelievable. The hards, are more prevalent in D1, but there is still quite a few medium runners. So that's going to be interesting as Lars rejoins. That's probably going to cause absolute chaos, I would assume.
Well, we'll see. He's at the back anyway, so I'd rather him be racing than the AI going for everybody.
Well, that's true. Well, just seeing Sir Gap warming his tyres up very aggressively and nearly losing it, but I'm going to try and find a decent view. I don't feel like I can make a prediction, but I'm going to give an outside prediction. I'm going to say that YHYY will podium, and I can't work out how or why. I just feel like it will happen.
All right, I'll say one Mercedes on the podium. I'll say an Aston on the podium, which means there's one left. And I'll go for, let's say, Chill to make the podium as well.
Ooh. So we have red lights. I think they are going to go out shortly. I can't see from the camera angle, and this is the worst camera angle possible, but we go, and Mortz gets a great start. He will retain the lead as we go through the first corner. Do they all get through? I'm going to follow the cars, and as it stands, it's looking fairly clean. One or two overtakes, but
it's clean.
Yeah, absolutely, and they've done a great job to keep it clean through turn one there.
As an Aston has gone wide, it's Cooler Kicker.
Ooh, he's lost his wing, and I think
he lost it just before turn 4. You're going on the in the corner in this case, and all the drivers are overtaking him, and he's keeping up. In this case, Kamke's gone for the inside.
Yeah, I feel really bad for him because he seems like a bit of a gentleman racer in the sense of he's letting everyone through because of that wing damage, and he is. But there's just nowhere to move. Yeah, there's just nowhere to move. I feel bad because he's clearly a bit old school in that sense, and he's just get out the way. But the problem is that track is basically a ribbon at that point, so I feel it for him. But he did fantastic there to get out of the way safely and not cause any kind of drama.
I think he's wise there because he knows there might be a safety car, so he just needs to stay in touch. He needs to get this pit stop done, and he needs to try and run his own pace, keep up, hope for the safety car, and then go on the attack when he gets back behind everybody. As Harry F is also in.
He is, and do you know what? I'm going to see if this is a wing change or not. It is a wing change.
Yeah, so maybe they collided in this case. You never know.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, what I would say, I think, I expect some early undercuts here as well. Genuinely, because getting out of this train could be more valuable time-wise than the faster compound.
Yeah.
I think so too.
You want to, like I said, for Cooler Kicker in this case, and actually for Harry F then as well, you want to be driving your own pace. If you're behind somebody but you just can't make the overtake, you're going to burn up your tyres, you're going to get frustrated, you're going to go maybe for a possible move you don't want to be going for. You never know what happened after that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know that to be true from any great kind of experience from practice because I've not really done much, but I can imagine that being the case on a tight grid, that the concertina effect's going to be more costly. As you see Gat getting so close to Mortz, this is just a prime example of it.
It looks like, sorry to interrupt you, it looks like he's faster in the second sector, so he's got so much more grip going out as he goes fastest with 1:14.1 at the moment. Oh, he's made a mistake, D-Mortz.
Could cost him. He's going to get a run, but getting a run and completing a move there is two different things, and they broke away from Connor. But if you notice, he had to pull out of it a little bit, and then Connor just gains 2 free temps. So if I'm Chill or a Guapo or YHYY, I'm seriously having a think about just jumping in and getting out of this traffic. You're going to have the world's most amount of clean air possible because the guys that have already pit had to change a wing and we're way behind you anyway. So I'd like to see someone do it purely for the sport of it, purely for the drama.
Yeah, I totally agree. Conor O'Keefe is also losing this battle for second, you might say then, or battle for first, whatever you want to call it. As you see some gaps spreading up in the field, as Ryan B is also one of the Ryan Bs. You can make out of that as well, which one you want to choose. There's also a 2-second gap.
And as you said it, he's gone into the wall, pushing. He's going to probably have to pit. I think he was conscious of that gap growing, and then he's trying to push. Oh, and he's lost the whole of his wing. He's going to have to get in, and he does. That is a nightmare, and that has caused a massive gap from Cam K to Ryan. So we almost have what feels like, and they're in their own little train because George Gamer is miles behind too. So it's almost like we have a multi-class event at the moment.
Yeah, it's a shame, as you can see, both Alphas in qualifying were first to get out, but both Alphas are also two of the 3 cars of going in first into pit. So as Harry goes quickest now, so he is going his own pace, and it looks like Ryan B has come out behind him.
Yeah, this is particularly difficult for strategy-wise though, because as much as I'm saying pit early, if there's a safety car at any point, that will cost you a lot. Because people will lose so much time off their pit stop. As Gat is, you can tell that Gat is kind of almost pushing Mortz around a little bit here, but there's no real opportunity.
Yeah, then again, I think he's pushing because he's on a different type of tyre, so the life of this tyre, of course, is a little better maybe now, and then eventually it will go more towards D-Mortz. Yeah, what you're saying about strategy, then again, you could put earlier, as you look at the gap for Harry F now, he's only 12 seconds behind Lars, which means he is closing that gap quite quickly. So maybe, yeah, if he can get to the back of the grid, he might go for another pit stop, and then everybody else will have to go again, and then he might get some precision. So maybe it's not that bad of a call.
Absolutely. It's such a tough race to just know what's wise and what's not. And it does largely come down to a degree luck. Completely honest.
Of course.
Oh,
You'll see that the
Melty!
safety car. Oh, Melty, you say, yeah.
Cam and Melty battling into the hairpin. That was an overtake into the hairpin. I've managed to just catch it. Cam K gets it done. That was absolutely astounding. I think Melty got a run on Cam K, but then Melty defended it pretty well and retains the place. But sorry, Cam K defended it really well and maintains the place. And the difficulty here is I think Melty actually has the pace. He's looking everywhere, which is...
Yeah, he's very close.
It's very close, and they need to be careful because
And I see Harry's retired.
And as I say, you need to be careful.
Oh, he's gone straight on. What a strange place, and there's no safety car at the moment because it's going green if I'm now on board with Ryan, so yeah, strange one. That's a very strange one. You would expect a safety car for this.
just can't work out how that's not a safety car. I mean, if it was a VSC, I'd have questioned it. Bizarre, but you get away. But Melty felt the pressure, and it seems like anyone that's around Cam K seems to be just dropping away. He's in his own race here.
Yeah, Melty's come in for the pits. He's gone on to hards. So yeah, he must have touched or something. But he did touch the barrier on the one side, so maybe he got wing damage.
And what I find really fascinating is that Connor has to be super disciplined here, because he'll be frustrated in a way that he's losing time to Mortz. But if he pushes just 1% too much, he's going to do what Melty's done and what a couple of the others like Harry F have done, and find himself in the wall. So he's in a good position. He's keeping chill at bay, but he's kind of powerless. It's a difficult race at the moment for him, because he knows he's pretty much got the third best pace.
Yeah, I think it's also him being wise. He knows, and I think everybody knows on this grid, you just need to finish. That's the first goal you want to have. You want to just finish this race, and then you hope on some very good points, because other people weren't as wise as you were. And also Conor O'Keefe as well. He can go very, very, very deep into this race, or he can wait for that safety car to come.
What an unbelievable move by Julius Show on Matt Tibos into turn one. Tibos did give him a massive amount of space, which was more than fair of him. But he got the.
That's Lars on the back of him.
Yeah, this is going to be close. Lars kind of doesn't want to commit to it. I think any other track you'd probably go for it. If there's a runoff area there, you might have seen a little bit of a send, but thankfully he's played the Monaco game, not the genuine
not
game.
the Danny Rick game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all kind of starting to settle down a bit. It wouldn't surprise me if we did see an early pitter, but we haven't really. It's all been by accident, hasn't it? You know, it's.
I would expect if people were to come in, it would be in the group from Chill down to Ryan, because they're close. All the rest are spread out with a couple of seconds, so might not be worth it yet. But then again, if you were to pit in that group, you might just come into the into play into group around about Lars, Ryan and Melty as Tibos is in.
I wonder if Matt had some damage and he just...
Yeah, looks like he's going to go for new tyres. That's it, he just put a new hards on.
Wow, okay. That's really interesting. He's kind of doing what we recommended, but I don't necessarily think he's in the right place to do it. So yeah, will be interesting to see if Chill can...
Oh, I've just seen Melty hit the wall in turn 1 again.
Seems to be struggling with the consistency. He's really quick. You know, he had the run on Camke, but this kind of race is made for Camke, by the way. I don't want to curse him, but if there's someone you're going to put money on finishing this race without making a massive mistake, it's going to be him. As it stands, the way people are dropping, I still wouldn't rule him out for even a podium.
Yeah, and I think it's someone's made a mistake again. I think it's Kula kicking out.
Oh, it's Melty.
No, it was Tebos even. Or Melty. No, Melty. So yeah.
Yeah,
you're right. He's all over the place.
I wonder if he's got some rear wing or something.
I don't know. He did touch, like I said, on this lap as well. He touched the barrier in turn 1. He's gone wide again. For sure, he's going to come in again, I guess. But as you were mentioning, Kamke, yeah, I think he could be outside podium contender because he's got a gap in front of him and a gap behind him, so he can go his own pace really, or make these tyres last. Then again, you never know. He could also touch the wall. So and somebody's again gone off, and there's Melty again now, but he pits and he's DNF'd.
And that we might get away with that because there's no one around him. And I think when you have it
coming around.
Yeah, I think when you have it on reduced from memory at Monaco, I don't know if this is necessary. I have a feeling the safety car barely comes out.
And he spun it. That's a strange. How strange that was. How could you? Yeah, never mind. Maybe you were right. He had wing damage, and we're just second guessing his ability there.
Maybe if he's got rear wing, you could lose it there. I imagine it's one of those. Yep. No, he's also having a wing. There are more wings here than KFC. Absolutely crazy. I was praising them in qualifying, but
yeah, I was not expecting that. Maybe those wings taste better. You never know.
Yeah, there's the secret blend of 7 herbs and DNFs at this rate.
Yeah. 7 drivers and DNFs. That's what that would have been a wide one maybe to say. Oh, Ryan B and Ryan B together again.
Well, they meet again, and what's interesting is that Ryan B binned it and had a wing change. Oh, but then so did Red Bull Ryan. Ryan Bull. That's what I'm going to call him.
Sounds good. Ryan Bull.
Ryan Red Bull.
And we
there
got
we
Alpha
go.
Bull.
Alpha Bull and Ryan Bull.
Oh, Alpha Ryan, sorry.
Alpha Ryan and Ryan Bull.
That's the best that is.
Absolutely. So, yeah, Ryan Bull, that overcut could nearly cost him, actually. So, there is definitely something in this undercut, isn't there? It's just a question of... I want to see someone like Chill or Gat try it. The problem they've got now, though, we look at... Obviously, we tend to focus on the interval. I don't know the pit gap here, but I imagine it's going to be around 20 seconds. I imagine it's quite small here, because the pit lane isn't very big. I think so. I think they'll get out ahead of
Lars is in now. Lars is in now, so we can do some counting here.
Yes. Yeah, we could. Yes, yeah, this is it. So, I have a feeling... Yeah, I have a feeling they've come out ahead of Kamke. Particularly Gat. Gat would, and I think Chill would come out behind Kamke, but ahead of George. So, yeah.
I just counted 27 with a wing change, so it looks reasonably close to what you said. Wing change, I think, is about 5 seconds or something.
Yeah.
There's somewhere between 20 and 22 seconds without the wing change. So, yeah, if you would now be pitting as the leader, you would drop behind Kamke.
Yep. 100%. We get a great camera view here with Judas Show. Just a nice helicopter camera. I wish we had this camera more, as the default saying, because it's such a lovely view. You can follow them all through Sector 3. You can just see the interesting. You see the pit lane backing on there as well, which is a stunning view. But he's.
I'm gonna shout something now. I think Sagat is coming in within an hour and 2 laps. Because I'm on board with him for a couple of corners now, and it looks like when he goes slightly too quick onto the throttle, he's losing the fronts. So I don't know if he will attempt it, undercut, and to see what D Morts will do. Because they are on opposite tyre strategies. He knows Conor O'Keefe is not coming in because he's on the hards anyway, so he will be pitting first. Unless, of course, the safety car, as we predicted, which is not going to come anytime soon, it seems.
Well, here's the thing. I thought that you could get... I've done no race practice here, but to be completely honest, it's the worst race possible for me to just jump in on comms. Because,
me too.
Because normally I could give a bit of an idea about optimal kind of pit times and that kind of stuff, but I'm looking here. What I find really interesting is also, generally, I'm not entirely sure that too many people in D1 have pit on either compound. So what I would assume is, I think you're just as likely to do an undercut with the hards. I mean, I wouldn't even rule out someone like Mort's pitting in a very strange way, because you could get those mediums to the end now. So it's one of the few situations where, at this point, it wouldn't surprise me if anyone on any compound pit that are in the top 9.
Yeah, that could be a good shout too. It's just so hard to predict, and like you said, you have done no practice, I've done no practice. Is this the worst Grand Prix for us both? 100%, 100%. And if you want to watch this live in D4, you could see us at 8:10 British summertime, and you might be done within 30 minutes with watching us. But as you said, I think it can go either way. You can pull the Albon, as he did in I think it was Australia a year ago. The Albon went long and pitted on the last lap.
Yes.
But then again, to do it on Monaco, maybe you would lose so much time towards the end, it wouldn't be worth it. So,
as Gat just nicked his wing.
Yeah. That's what I was saying a lap ago. It looks like he's sliding all over the place. So I don't know if he will stay out long. As now the gap is a second.
Yeah, I wonder if has he got any damage, or is he just made... The funny thing is, it's such a rhythm track. You know, you knock just even the car ever so slightly, and then you're all out of kilter, you're all out of sorts. But it does seem to me it's gone on for more than a couple of corners now. So I'm wondering if it is damage. And
it doesn't look that way.
And he took a massive bite.
Yeah. If I'm looking on the live camera, it looks like all his wings are intact. So I think it is really just tyre deg here.
Yeah, he just got his second warning there, and it didn't surprise me. He took a massive bite out of that chicane. I think there's two schools of thought here. And I think they're all leaning into the one that I've not suggested, which is probably a good idea. Which is, if both these compounds can go to the end, and it's hard to overtake, I'm just going to stay out until the safety car comes out.
Or create the gap that big to Conor O'Keefe that it wouldn't matter if you would go long or not.
Well, this is it actually, because even let's say there was the worst possible safety car situation where both of these two pit at this point and none of the others did. I think they'd only come out sick for worse.
We have a yellow. It's yellow. It's Cooler Kicker. Oh, I saw the Aston on the map and I thought it was D-Morts.
Yeah, it was. The guys at the back just having a bit of a struggle as he pits again, but he's not out of it. I mean, as long as he can stay on the lead lap, which actually is proving that might start proving tough now.
As Matt Tibos is in as well, so I think these guys are going to get lapped. To be honest,
almost certainly at this point.
It'll be the worst possible scenario for both of them. As we're going to watch out with the pit. Coming out of the pits, is it going to happen again? Yeah, so here you see the guys kept a wide line compared to the qualifying incident.
The one thing that he's got going...
Chilled in.
Chill is that, isn't... got a first 3 second. I don't think that'll be the last 3 seconds.
No, for sure not.
what I find interesting here is
he's going to come out behind Cam K or in front of Cam K. It's going to be tight. Oh, it's not.
he's fine. He's in some decent air. It'll be interesting to see what Camco does, because they're technically now teammates. I don't know how much that matters to either of them. Yeah, we'll have to see. As again,
Yeah,
time.
You mentioned it. It was coming. As Ryan B's in again as well. So he's done 11 laps on his medium. So if he's not changing his wing, as he isn't, then I think it is the mediums now dropping off in a way that for some driving it's not really a reliable tyre to be on anymore.
No, and Chill struggling a bit on an outlap, which we would expect on his hards. It's very hard to warm your tyres up in Monaco. There's not too many long kind of points where you're utilising the sidewalls. Sector 3 to a degree, but that's about it.
Guapo's in.
Wow, he's reacted to Chill.
Well, I think it was because he's also that, but he's also reacted to YHYY closing the gap. Because when they came out of the last corner, he was only 6 tenths down of it. And I think a couple of laps ago, the gap was much bigger, so he was losing a lot of time.
That's interesting. I mean, I would expect someone like YHYY to maybe even stay out for a bit. Now, there's going to be some odd goings on as we get another penalty. Another penalty for Alpha Ball.
Yellow.
Alpha Ryan. Ooh, he's got that.
Kicker.
He's so struggling at the moment.
And he's letting drivers by, but he was also already a lap down, so we'll see what he'll do at the end of this lap. I hope for him he stays in, but the gaps are getting bigger and bigger, and you don't want to be 2 laps down.
No. No, you do not. He's having a hard time.
Sugatin! Here we go then.
Right.
Here we go.
Where does this put him? This is going to be... This could be a bit of a nightmare. I don't think it is actually, because I think he's actually going to be clearing that. Oh, it's a back marker.
YHY is in. So they're all reacting to each other. So it's going to be. We're going to see what D-Mortis is going to do and what Conor O'Keefe are going to do. They will have to go, if they come in now, 21 lap on the medium, and I don't think that is the way to go. If I'm looking at all these other guys coming in now.
And what I find remarkably interesting is Aguapo does get out ahead of YHYY. What I find interesting here is that we'll see what Connor and D Morts do now.
Yeah, and I think the undercut is powerful, as YHY, when he saw Aguapo come in, he was 6 tenths down on Aguapo, and now the gap's 2.1, so he lost 1.5 seconds there.
It's huge. Let's have a look at this gap. This the leader gap from Sagat to D Morts, because this is going to be crucial. He's already gaining.
Yeah, I think Sagat will overtake him if D Morts comes in now.
D Morts carries on. So does Connor. Now,
yeah, I think they need at least 5 laps to keep pace.
Yeah, I like this strategy from them, because particularly from D Morts, because he would have lost the place, and actually so would Connor to Chill. So I think their thought process is stay out. Obviously they're craving a safety car, that much is obvious, but also those tyres will be in much better shape, and they will be, most importantly, a soft compound. So
yeah. The other side is as well, the story is Sagat was constantly behind D Morts on the medium. They're going to switch around in a minute with D Morts being on the mediums and Sagat on the hards. The gap might be bigger for Sagat in this case, as he's really taking chunks of time out now. So I think D Morts really doesn't have a decision really, because he has to stay out, because I don't think the tyres will last if he goes mediums.
Ryan B found himself in the wall there. It looked a bit of a clumsy kind of just slight too much throttle situation.
Is it Ryan Bull or
Ryan Bull?
Ryan?
Ryan Bull in 9th. He's I think he's okay. I think he got away with without any damage though. It was a bit of one of those.
Yellow.
Lars. again, such an odd place to lose it. Sagat setting the fastest lap. I don't think anyone is surprised. He might find it. It'd be interesting to see how long Connor stays out, because if I'm Connor, I'm battling him. I'm absolutely battling him, because
you would.
They're in the same race, you could argue. Just because he has to pit again, my argument would be if a safety car happens, which...
Yeah, Ryan Bull has retired. Oh no, Ryan Alpha
Ryan. Alpha Ryan.
And Ryan B is in the pits. Oh no, sorry, the one's retired in the pits and the one's gone into the wall.
Well, no, I think Ryan B's carried on, from the looks of it.
No, look, he's in the wall.
So yeah, the Alpha Tauri is dead, but the Red Bull is carrying on.
Oh right.
Yeah,
this is messed up.
It's so hard. But he pit for a wing change, I think. But where this gets really interesting, Cam K is going to be staying out here. I think Cam K is hanging about.
Oh, and I see that Mantibos is in AI mode, or oh no, what, he was in the AI mode, but he was in the way of one of the Mercs.
I think he's not in AI. I think he's just ghosted because he's a lap down.
Yeah, he was in the way of Sergat though, so Sergat was, I think, pretty annoyed about that. Yeah. But never mind, but he is closing the gap, so I'm really...
Cam K, massive slide and loses 2 places.
Yeah, could kick her in.
Yeah, could kick it in, but how he saved that, I've absolutely no idea, because he double wobbles under traction. He's done really well, but it's getting to the point now where I see what he's trying to do. I don't necessarily think it's worth it.
Yeah, the point is, that's what I'm saying. The mediums will not last, maybe, or will be dead at the end if they go in now. Especially if I would be driving them. The tyre wear on those tyres will be like me eating at KFC and thinking I'm eating wing, but I'll be eating drumsticks. In this case, looking at the gap now at the front, Sergat will for sure be on the end of Conor O'Keefe at the end of this lap.
Yeah, that's the battle I'm really interested in. I don't think Conor should let him by, but we'll see.
Yeah, looking at the pit stops at the moment, as we have another 3-second time penalty being thrown onto track. D Mort's Conor O'Keefe, Cam K and George Gamer are the only ones who have not stopped yet.
And he is now getting held up. Now this is a battle of patience. This is a complete battle of patience. D Mort's, his overcut strategy really hinges on Conor being able to do something here. Wow, that's so...
I was not expecting it. As you said, I thought they were going to be battling, as he could have let him through way before. So he did lose a bit of time. Oh, as Conor O'Keefe's just cut the chicane a little bit, so he's got the 3-second as well.
See...
D-Morts is in.
He is. My argument here would have... I suppose his argument would be, well, why am I going to lose time battling someone quicker than me when I've got my races against Chill? I think would have been his argument. So
Conor
he does
is in as well.
Yeah, he is in, and I get that point of view too. I have a feeling the safety car was completely glitched on Monaco. Because
Bert Mylander said, do you know what, KFC seems really reasonable from here. Let's go.
I think it was like this on the last game as well when it was on reduced. I don't think it actually comes out because of how frequent it should potentially come out.
Like I said, Bert Mylander, you could be partying or something here in Monaco, as you know, you were saying there was some glitching on the track when on the formation lap, so maybe that was him just throwing up some flares.
Yeah, exactly. Could be having an app. He's probably in the casino.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe in the corner of the casino, just having some drinks with Kimi Räikkönen on the boat or whatever.
Gavke is he's pit. Yeah, I mean everyone of significance to the major places. No disrespect to George. That's it now. I think that we're going to now start to see the race really unfold. As funnily enough, I mean Sagat is so far clear. By the way, of D Morts, so far clear.
The pain for D Morts is now going to be if the safety car does come out. or a VSC, Sagat is in.
Yeah, and
So,
he might not have that luxury.
yeah, exactly. He will have to hope that the rest will come in, so he will be hoping for a very late safety car, meaning a lot of people might try and jump onto softs, but I don't see it happening. Like you said, this game being on the reduce, we believe, have not sent the safety car out with some particular crashes in real life for sure, giving us a safety car. To be fair, 24 laps without it, I mean, let's compliment everybody for that.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not going to actually, because so many of them have crashed on corners. It's completely glitched. I stand by it.
Well, put it this way: if somebody were to crash in a moment and the safety car would come out, let's keep the compliment in place. If not, I'll let you keep your word and I'll just shut mine, right?
No, I'll have mine anyway. This game's messed.
Yeah, okay. Let's hope F123 will be better then.
Absolutely. I think it was like it last time. It's bizarre, but do you know what? In some ways, it's actually quite refreshing because it does make this race quite strategic, and it's quite interesting with the overcut aspect. D-Morts is doing enough in regards to like run rate and of lap count and time. You know, he's taking a second a lap, but it's what he does when he gets there and what's left in those tyres, right? It's almost like running to have a fight with someone and then realising you're out of breath and you can't really punch anything.
Yeah, the other side is he needs to get that gap down to, like we mentioned 2 laps ago, that he needs to get that gap down for the VSC or safety car to possibly happen. So for VSC range, he's getting there. He's taking a little bit of time. It looks like he's taking about 8/10 a lap out. But yeah, if I'm looking at the position changes at the moment, and it's funny to say that the whole top 6 has only gained or lost 1 or 2 positions. So if you look at consistency, they're not doing a bad job there.
No, they're not. As the Ryan Bull is all over the back of Judy Show. Julius how? Who knows? We'll have to ask him.
Who knows? In Dutch it's Juli. Yeah, I can't even say it in Dutch. Unbelievable. Juli Show. Yeah. Juli Show 13. But yeah, never mind. Well, yeah, forgive us for that.
We'll have to ask him. We'll have to ask him that. Where does it start and stop? There needs to be commas. There needs to be a comma somewhere. But Ryan's on the back of him, which is probably our most likely for a battle for now. We're going to have plenty, I think, because Connor's going to be catching chill, and we're going to have D-Morts. As it stands, you know, it's just worth keeping an eye on. It's really impressive what he's done. And just as long as he can keep it, in my eyes, if he can get that down at the end of lap 27 to somewhere around the 8.8, 8.7, because he's going to knock a couple of attempts off him now. He just needs to keep knocking over a second a lap out of him, and then he's going to be close. But then
the other side is he's got 5 laps difference in the tyres he's got and the tyres that Sergat has got on. And he's on tyres that won't last, compared to the hards in this case, meaning Sergat can keep his pace quite consistent.
Yeah, and this, and also, the only thing I would say is that the pressure of these two right now, they'll know that they're in a battle. Even though they're nowhere near each other, they'll know what the score is. And what I find really interesting is both of them are in this title fight. There's only 15 points between them two, even though there is 5 places. But whoever wins this, I think Sagat would go top with a second, provided it's to D-Morts. But Chill will be sat there thinking, if I can get third at Monaco, probably one of his least favourite tracks possible. Yeah, I think he'll take this all day of the week. Absolutely all day.
He has limited the pain in this case. Maybe maybe Conor O'Keefe might join him at the end. Maybe Conor O'Keefe will get past him, but I think still he'll be happy. Before we even started this Monaco GP, I think you were mentioning he was consistent, and again with his last past 2 races with a win and I think it was a 3rd place in the last race, and trying to get 3rd or 4th here, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's incredibly consistent from him. And D-Morts, like I say, look, he's got that 8.3 so he's taking more than a second.
Yeah,
So
he's good. He's doing well.
And at some point...
As Ryan B is really close now. Coming out of the hairpin.
It's such a stunted battle, that one, because he knows the chap in front has got a pen, which is a shame. Because I'd love to see... I think we are going to see a couple of battles for position further down the line, but... not quite yet. I need to just run to Frank. I need to pop away from. I won't tell you why, but I'm sure we can all imagine. So I'll be 2 minutes. I'm just going to ride on board with Ryan B, if that's okay. If you just want to keep an eye on that, but I'll be back in a sec.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, on board with Ryan B. Oh, he's gone for it. He's gone for it, and he's touched him. Ooh, it was a late one. Luckily, they only touched each other's wheels, as I think Ryan is getting a little frustrated here. But yeah, knowing that Julie Show has got a time penalty, of course, the tunnel. And yeah, on the throttle, through the tunnel as we mentioned. As you can see on the left-hand side, the gap between Sergat and D Morts is going down and down and down, as it now it's 6.8 seconds. 5 seconds, sorry. And as mentioned, we have 10 laps to go here in our Division 3 League of Europe Monaco night race. What you missed is that they touched the left front and rear right tyre.
Ooh, Ryan B is enjoying this, I think. I think he was almost enjoying this on the basis that he knows the chap ahead has a penalty and he's just kind of toying a little bit. But then again, Lars is kind of coming back. Lars is showing his face. So he needs to get a move on, but Dean
he wants to clear him.
He does. He wants to clear him and just get away. I
think he's going to dive. Oh, he looked for it.
Dean Mort's 6.5.
Yeah, Conor O'Keefe is also closing the gap down to 3.1 now. So he took the line a little different there.
What's interesting though is that Conor seemed to have a bigger pace advantage on Chill, in my opinion, than the other two. Even though they were on different tyres, it seemed like Conor was handling it. And what I find really interesting is that they've swapped compounds, and Conor doesn't seem to be as effective as Chill on these compounds. And you'd say Chill was the faster man on it if you swapped him over, but it wasn't the case. It was Conor. So, that.
Ooh, problem for Conor O'Keefe though is...
Ooh.
I was going to say Conor still needs to get past Chill, and he's also got a 3-second time penalty. So I think Chill is still in kind of prime position to stay in the place he is.
I think he might have damage. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure.
We'll check that.
Gap for D Morts is 6 seconds now. Again, he wants it to be down to 5 almost. Sergat is going on a bit of a tightrope. I'm just checking. Oh, sorry. I'm not used to being the main... Apologies, people. I'm not used to being the mainstream. I was just checking penalties. Sergat has got 2 warnings. So that is a tightrope you don't need to be on. Because he will know that if D Morts catches... D Morts will finish within 3 seconds of him. Unless there's an error. So he is really up against it here.
Yeah, they're pushing each other all over the place. I think it's clear it's been happening, of course, since lap 1.
Because I think a Guapo might have picked something up, because he's also dropped back and Y is kind of in his clutches. So I think oddly, all he has to do is keep Conor behind, but good luck. We've both raced Conor. He's aggressive. He will go for moves.
We have a great battle at the back in P12 and 13 at the moment with Cool Kicker and Matt Tibos.
Yeah, we have to say this is for points. This is for a point. The top 12 do get points here, so even though these guys are lapped, I tell you what, fair play to them as well though. Fair play for you're a lap down. You've not had a great race, but this is what it's about. You're still racing, and you're racing for something as well, which is the beauty of racing for 12th place. So good luck to them.
Yeah, and as I said, they're nice and close, and you said in this case they could be in P13. So yeah, we've got some battles going on. Somebody's gone into the wall, I think it is.
Lars.
Yes, it is Lars. and it seems to be he only slightly clipped it as there's no damage on the car I can visibly see. But yeah, we've got some battles going on still. We've got Conor O'Keefe and Chill fighting each other on track, P3 and 4. And we've got some guys at the back, as we said, Tibos and Cooler Kicker, as Cooler Kicker is lining up. Will he outbrake him? Chill's made a small mistake.
Yeah, Chill 100% has damage. 100%. You can tell the way the car's handling around that last two corners. And the one thing he's got going for him is he's also got a load of errs. So Connor's not. So he can kind of keep him at bay to a degree. But I can see this being sketchy towards the end, because this is a battle for... Chill has to keep him behind for at least another 3 and a bit laps.
Yeah.
And if he has, probably
yeah,
longer.
maybe, like you said as well, at the end, even if he lets him go at the end, there's no way I think Conor will pull out a 3-second gap. I'm really curious to see what will happen here. I think if there's a gap, he will go for it.
It seems like D Mortz has found another little bit of pace, because the gap was kind of stagnating about 6 seconds, but it's now getting to a point where it's going back down. I don't think the run rate's quite right now, though, unfortunately.
Oh, Chill's hit the wall!
Yeah, he has definitely got a problem. He has 100% got a problem.
And I think he's lucky, because it looks like his wing's still intact, so he must have touched it with the wall. But he was... I was on board with Conor O'Keefe, and basically the car didn't even turn, it looked like. He just smacked it into the wall. I'd be amazed if he doesn't have damage. And this is so interesting. This just shows you how hard this track is to overtake, because goes to defend the inside, lines back out for the corner. It's so interesting, some of the lines that Chill's taking. They are, in my eyes, they're on the right side of grey, but he's making his car as wide as possible. And I'm surprised Connor's not been a bit more aggressive with some of these moves. He's going to go for it here. Then again, maybe he thinks he's just got on, and maybe he thinks it will come. Ryan B has left the session, but it's not our Ryan B, we think.
No,
just again. I think Connor's just went into the back of Chill, ever so slightly though.
Oh, he's so much quicker through this section, but there's no value in being quicker, because there is literally one line through there. You cannot pass.
He's touched his left side as well.
This is so important in the context of the title. And I know that sounds crazy because it's so early, but both these guys are in with a shout of it, but also in relation to D Mortz and Gat. And D Mortz have taken another second. We're going to have to at some point. I think he's going to run out of time, but I think he might get close.
The funny thing is, you mentioned that Guapo not really taking chunks of time out of these two guys as well. It's totally true. The gaps stay the same, even though that these guys are trying to push each other, push each other out of the equation of taking an overtake or getting overtaken. Like you mentioned, D Mortz's gap is closing, so he's going to be on the end of Sir Gap, maybe to the end of this race. And also YHYY is closing a gap, and I think Conor O'Keefe is going to be there now. He's going to try it. He's on the... Ooh.
He's going to have a run. He's going to have a run. But I think Chill might just have 1 or 2 clicks less of the downforce, because this is close. This is incredibly close, and it just seems like the straight line gets Chill out of trouble just enough, and he has had slightly more battery so far, but this is it. This could be it.
I don't know. He just needs to keep the inside line here. So I think Chill knows what lines he needs to be in, and what he needs to be driving to keep Conor behind him. But I just hope, I really hope it doesn't end up in something we don't want to see, meaning a collision between both gentlemen by underestimating what braking zone people are going to be braking in, or by changing the line like Chill did a lap ago. But yeah, nothing wrong with that, as Capke is now coming in, which doesn't seem like a regular pit stop, so I think he might be changing for a wing or something.
Fastest lap.
So he's going for fastest lap. He's got the gap to Ryan B, that's why he's chosen it. And I think nobody else really has the gap to do that, unless it's Lars going for it, as he's on 25 lap hards at the moment.
Well, Cooler Kicker's done it, so he's gonna have a rival for it, but Cooler Kicker will unfortunately not get the point if he carries on being in 13th.
Yeah, Conor O'Keefe. Oh,
should have done everything.
It's the battle to be on for these last laps. Oh, Chill's lost it.
Wow, this is absolute drama. I think, if you want my honest opinion,
be smart.
He's got it. I think Connor will have it, because I genuinely don't think that Chill has a fully functioning car.
I don't know. I think the only thing Chill needs to try and do is stay within the... Oh, there's a car off. Oh, they let him off. Oh, look at that guy. He's awesome. Cooler Kicker is, I think, one of the most sportive drivers on the grid.
Yeah, he's done well. Maybe he doesn't have major damage, or maybe Connor picked up something when he was running super close. Oh no, I don't know. That gap there, that 2 temps. Second.
Then again, if he can just try and manage it by only losing like 1.2 second a lap or whatever, he'll be all right. But it just looks like in the corners he's just not close enough. He's taking a lot of time and a lot of space, or he's losing a lot of time and space in the corners, and it looks like Conor O'Keefe is just flying. But Conor O'Keefe also touches the barrier there. So, yeah, we're on the last lap, as D Mortis has got a gap of 2.7 seconds to Sagat, so I think this is done. I don't see that gap coming down.
No.
So it looks like Chill will be P4 or better. I'm jumping on board with YHYY, as they have got 1 lap to go, and they're close. It's close. It's coming down. Aguapo's in trouble here.
Yeah, that straight just needs to be another 200 meters, doesn't it? It never breeds that first corner pass, unfortunately. But yeah, so Gat has done really well. He has got a couple of corners to kind of navigate, but he will be absolutely fine. He can't even pick up a warning. He's going to come over the line. Yeah. And he is going to win a really hard-felt win. He's the quickest man on track, and that's a massive 25 points.
Very true. Cam Kaiser is coming over the line to be the fastest, and I think he didn't get it. I don't think he was fastest.
I don't think he was. I think he must have made an error. And Chill is somehow, by the way,
he's there. He's still in.
He is, and he's fighting his absolute life out here, but he's going to do it. I think he will.
2.0, 1.9, 1.8, 1.7. Yeah, he's got it.
Wow, clutch. Really clutch.
That's mad. And I jump on board with YHYY. They're coming around the last corner with Aguapo. Will he have a line? He's got the DRS on there. It's closing. No, it's not going to be enough. So I think we have it with Matt Tibos saying Cooler Kick is still on. Cooler Kick has just finished it. So Matt Tibos, will he do a spin on the line, you think?
We might as well.
He's got all the time in the world, doesn't he?
I suppose he does want to get imagine he got disqualified though. That'd be funny.
Yeah, drop into the back and Cooler Kicking on the softs, get in the last point. There we go. Now, as Matt Tibos has also finished here, I think it's fair to say it's been a very clean Grand Prix, and I take back that it's about the safety car element we spoke about.
I'm sure it must be. I remember it being a bit an issue last game, but do you know what? Like I say, it created some cool strategy stuff, and if anything, it adds to the tension, because you know if you hit the wall, you're never getting that time back. Which don't get me wrong, I think the safety car is generally good for league racing generally, but for this race, I don't mind it. I don't mind it being on. But...
Yeah, I think for Monaco, it just comes out for the wrong reasons, really.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and but yeah, they're the results. There was only 6 cars on the lead lap, which is staggering. I don't think I've seen that in a very long time. Shows you just what Monaco's about. But congratulations to a Mercedes-powered front 5, I should say, with Sergat, D Morts, QBR Chill, Conor O'Keefe, and Aguapo making it the top 5. Expecting more from YHYY personally in 7th. Cam K had a Cam K race where nothing
nothing happened. There's normally something has to happen for Kampe to do well in this division, and it normally does. Today it didn't, and he found himself in 7th.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ryan B in 8th, and crack on.
Yeah, sorry, but I was going to mention he just lost out on the fastest lap by 2/10, so yeah, he didn't get it on the last lap.
Yeah, that shows you how quick D Morts was on those mediums. That is staggering, absolutely staggering. But yeah, a very, very. Do you know what? I'm going to compliment the whole grid there, because I don't think that was particularly the. It's not the easiest race, and there wasn't anything too clumsy. I can't see too many stewards' reports, bar maybe a couple of things in quali, ironically, rather than the race.
So you are agreeing with my comment throughout the race.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what?
Hold on.
No. I think they did really well. To be fair, but I mean, there should have been a safety car technically, but
yeah, very true.
They did really well. I think the standard there of driving was fantastic. If we get that in D4, I'll take it. But
yeah, me too. I agree there.
I mean, driver of the day. I find it very hard to look past Gat. I'm not going to do interviews today because I don't know if you can actually hear. My voice is. I've been pretty ill and I'm struggling. If I'm being honest, I've got to go and do certain duties, family nonsense really. So I won't do that. But I'd love to know who your driver of the day is and your nominations for it. You can have it this week as a thank you for jumping in. But I think it might be fairly straightforward, this one, actually, to be completely honest.
Yeah, for me, to be honest, I think if you look on actual pace, I think the top two, nobody can disagree with that the top two made a right show of it by showing if you are good at racing this game and you have confidence and you have the right strategy, you can challenge each other all the way throughout. They basically didn't make any mistakes. If I would say a third driver, I think in this case, we mentioned it, I think as well, it's Chill, due to the fact that he just made sure he finished and he made sure he got some good points for the championship. And even though he made a slight mistake at the end by being overtaken by Conor O'Keefe, he made sure he kept the gap. So, yeah, let's say our top 3 in this case.
Yeah, absolutely. But, yeah, that would have been exactly my top 3. So we're in absolute unison there anyway. But
yeah,
look, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for jumping in last minute.
Yeah, no worries.
I was doing D1 obviously anyway, but you should have Jess back next week. You will have possibly someone we're going to see, but it will at least be Jess, and we'll go from there. But hopefully you get back to some regularity for what I think is going to turn out to be a really fascinating title battle for kind of season 9 D3 really. Where are we next week? Do you know, normally I know the calendar. I don't have a clue where we're racing next week.
That's a good one. I'm going to just double check that one. We are racing at the United States of America.
Wow. Okay. I'm a fan of that.
I'll leave it up to the spectators to decide which track that's going to be.
Oh, actually, yeah. Oh, hang on. I think I know which one that is because one of them isn't on it. So you scared me there. It's the one I like. It's fine. It's the one that I don't spin at randomly and feel like it's just the unfair game. It's not the unfair game. It's a skill issue. Let's be honest. But yeah, great stuff. Thank you all. We're going to go because Swip also has to set up a lobby. And yeah, I've got to go do stuff. So thank you. And we will see you next week.
See you next